Hello everyone, my name is Gregory Ashby, and welcome to the Cincinnati Zoo. Today I'd like to introduce you to two good friends of mine. On my right here is the handsome guy, El Oso, and on the left here is his lovely sister, Honey Lemon. These guys are North American black bears. These guys have a bit of an interesting story because these guys were rescues. They were found as babies out in the forest of Oregon by their local Fish and Wildlife Department, and it was believed that their mother was tragically killed by a hunter. So at that time, none of the zoos up there in Oregon had the space to care for these guys. So they had to put out a call to some of the other zoos to see if there was anywhere that had space to care for these guys. So fortunately, at the time, one of our bears had recently passed away, so they had a vacancy at the Cincinnati Zoo. So we decided to take them in, and they've been here for the last 5 years of their lives. So, and also, he's the more chill, laid-back one, always waiting for his food and chowing down, or just lounging around this pool to chill off in the heat. Honey Lemon, on the other hand, she's the more lively and rambunctious one. She's always willing to run around and play with some of the toys that are in their enclosure, or just like to tease her brother a little to get him to play with her. So, black bears are the smallest bear species in North America. They only get around 6 feet tall and weigh up between 400 to 500 pounds. That may seem pretty big to us, but compared to some of the bigger bear species like the grizzly bear and polar bear, those guys can get up to 10 feet tall and weigh close to 800 to 1,000 pounds. So much bigger than a black bear. So what do you guys think a black bear normally eats? Well, black bears, they're omnivores, so they'll eat almost anything. From things like berries, roots, shrubs, to fresh meat like salmon, fish, and deer if they can catch it. So, because they need to eat a lot of food to get prepared for hibernation. So, does anyone know what hibernation is? Well, hibernation takes part normally during the autumn and winter months. Winter months when food is real scarce for bears out there, so they are going to need to hunker down and wait for a period of time until food becomes plentiful again. So before hibernation starts, they'll usually eat up to 80% of their body weight to pack on the pounds to get ready for hibernation. So when that happens, something kind of triggers in their brain to just shut down and just rest for a little bit. And during that time period, all the fat that they stored up, they're going to burn it off during the 4 to 5 months that they're sleeping and resting. And then when spring finally comes, they'll be ready to chow down again. And it's during that hibernation period that female black bears normally give birth to their cubs. So on average, they have about maybe 1 to 2 cubs during their cycle. But there have been records of black bears having up to 4 to maybe 5 cubs. Did you guys know that a group of black bears is actually called a sloth? Yeah. But normally black bears are solitary hunters and they'll usually prefer to be alone. What makes black bears such efficient hunters is their large brains. And thanks to that, they have good memory, so they remember the best places to find food at or the best methods to take down prey or find it. And that tends to get them into a bit of trouble, because normally they'll lead them to human civilization where they're going to break into a car or a trash can or something. So if you ever hear on the news about a bear wandering around digging into a neighbor's garbage cans or digging into a house, it's almost always a black bear. That tends to cause some negative views to be seen of them because they're just trying to survive in an ever-changing environment. Because what makes these guys so much better than some of the other bear species is their ability to adapt to a changed environment. Because since we're moving into their habitat, they've got to adapt to to the changes in their homes. So like they gotta find new places for food and water and shelter. Whenever there's humans around, there's always going to be things like bird feeders, grills, garbage things that these guys can easily get their paws into. And that usually ends up with some negative confrontations between humans and black bears. So you know what things can be done to help them? Well, one thing to do is that you can always keep your food and garbage locked up in a secure environment inside your house. And don't ever leave your trash out the day before trash day, because that'll attract bears, because they've got a strong sense of smell, even stronger than that of a dog, and they'll easily be able to track that stuff down. Also, you're going to want to put your bird feeders maybe someplace high where a bear probably won't reach, like up on your porch or maybe in a tall tree. And should you ever come face to face with a black bear, make sure your guys make yourself look as big and intimidating as possible and make lots of noise to try and scare them away. And if you ever do see one running around your neighborhood, maybe report it to the local fish and wildlife department, because that way they'll be able to keep an eye on it, because maybe it's just a random bear just one around, he's not going to come back, or it's a bear that's been there before in the past and they need to keep an eye on him to make sure he doesn't become a problem. So, anyone else have any questions? Well, thank you again for coming to the Cincinnati Zoo. Have a wonderful time here, and I hope to see you guys here again someday.